Hello, conscious people. Are you still fighting your thoughts? Are you still a prisoner of your manifesting techniques? Are you still manifesting from your ego self, from your human self? If you are doing those things, you probably know that it's very heavy on you. Well, if this is you, if you are doing those things and nothing is really happening, nothing new is happening in your 3D reality, then this video is for you. So be sure to stick all the way to the end. And I intend that this video will really help you to understand some fundamental truth that is going to change your life and your results, of course. So without further ado, let's get into the video. By the way, before I start, I want to let you know that I have a podcast. My last podcast from Tuesday is discussing this topic in a different way, as always. I never repeat myself because I could never repeat myself, even if I try. So, my podcast is one thing, my videos are another thing. And by the way, people who know both my podcast and my videos, they always tell me that they are very different. So just try it, guys. Try the podcast as well if you know only my videos. So let's talk about thoughts to start with. I see many of you fighting your thoughts. But the thing is this, if you keep on fighting your thoughts, what are thoughts? Well, thoughts are stemming from your state. Whatever state you occupy, whatever personality you are identifying with, whatever identity is yours, from there stems your thoughts. But the thing is, when you are changing, when you have decided that you want to leave the old man, the old personality die off, and you want to become your new you are going to have old thoughts that are going to try to sneak in. And the reason why it's that by nature, the old self, the old habit, the old habitual self, the old identity always wants to pull us back at first, right? Eventually, it will leave you alone. But at first, it wants to keep you because that's where your self is comfortable, because it's the identity you've always known. And one thing is for sure, as humans, what we know, even if it sucks like hell, feels comfortable. So your old self will always want to try to pull you back as you are becoming your new self. So the thing is this, when you have negative and contradicting thoughts, even though you feel like you have done what it takes to identify yourself with a new personality, with a new identity, if you react to the thoughts, you are admitting in a way that you are still your old self. You are still your old self fighting your old thoughts. But those thoughts, they are not you. And I'm going to bring that point a little bit later in the video. Those thoughts, they are not you. They are just attached to an identity. But if you keep fighting them, you keep reacting to them, you are identifying yourself with those thoughts. And this is why you're not going anywhere. Because as you are fighting the thoughts, you give the thought more energy. You focus on them, you give them more energy. It's like putting oil on fire. And what you focus on, expand. So the more you focus on the thought, and you do focus on them by fighting them, or even by throwing some techniques at them, the more you do those things, the more you are confirming, so to speak, that old identity of yours. And this is why weeks in the linear time, weeks and months and years go by, and you still feel that you are at the same place. Nothing has changed, nothing has moved in your 3D experience. And the number one reason that I see more and more now is this, is that you keep fighting your old thoughts. Even throwing some techniques at the thoughts, it's not the way to go. And we are going to discuss this a little bit later as well. The best way to handle those thoughts is by letting them be, letting them come and go. Observe them, but do not identify yourself with them. You are not your thoughts. You just have thoughts. Just let them slide. And as you do this, you don't give the thought energy. You don't give the thought attention. You don't focus on the thought. Therefore, the thought will die off. Instead of coming back stronger or bringing some friends with it the next day and the next week and the next month, that thought or thoughts will die off and eventually never come back again. Because by doing this, you will have given yourself time to occupy that new state of yours, to identify yourself with that person that you want to be. Now, let's talk about techniques a little bit. When you feel that you always have and still have to use techniques to manifest your desire, this is also proof that you are not your new you yet. If you already are that wealthy person, if you already are that married person, if you already are the person that you want to be, who has whatever it is that you want to have, do you need to still practice techniques? Do you still need to throw techniques at every little mood and thoughts that come up that doesn't even belong to that new identity of yours? The answer is no. At some point, when you feel that you have made the decision to be who you want to be, you have decided that your desire is yours, and you wake up in the morning knowing that this is the person who is waking up today. This is my new self waking up today. You don't have to practice your techniques over and over and over and feel that you have to throw techniques every time you have a little negative or contradicting thought. Techniques, and I have said that many times before in my videos and podcasts, techniques do not manifest. They are just tools. You manifest. But the techniques on their own, they do nothing. And this is why many of you also have been using techniques for the longest time, but still with no results. Because unless you use techniques to change who you are being, those techniques are useless. Because the techniques, they are not magic. You are the magic, not the techniques. So if the techniques don't help, go back to the source. And what is the source? Well, the source is God, which is your true self, your I am. So here's another mistake that I see many people do in this community. Really, many people are doing this. They are manifesting their desire from the wrong source. And the wrong source is the ego, the human self. Your ego, human self, doesn't manifest anything whatsoever, not a thing. It is not your ego. It is not your human self that manifests anything, guys. It is the God within. It is the I am. If it was for your ego, you wouldn't manifest anything. You're not waking up in the morning thinking, okay, I'm going to make sure my heart is beating. I'm going to make sure my liver is working all right. I'm going to make sure my bladder is functioning correctly. Do you do that as you wake up in the morning? No, because everything, every single one of your organs in your body knows what it needs to do on its own, because it's that God force within that takes care of this. If it was for your little ego human self, you'd be dead a long time because you could not make this whole machine work so perfectly as it does. That is your God self doing it. Besides that, there are many things that we may think we are controlling with our ego mind, but we are not. It's really our inner self, our higher self, our subconscious that is taking care of it. So stop trusting your ego, human self so much and start trusting God. Start trusting the I am. Start trusting the source. And the source is the I am. It's your inner self, your higher self, no matter how you want to call it. When you know that to manifest anything, all you need to do is having the desire and decided that it's yours, right? That's all you need to do. And that's enough. Why is it enough? It's enough because it is your God self that is going to materialize your desire. Neville mentioned that many times in his teaching. For example, when he said, you don't have to lift a finger. That's what he was talking about. He didn't mean just sit down or lie down all day long, but he meant that when it comes to manifesting your desire, you don't have to lift a finger. You don't have to do anything. There's nothing you can do. And he even says that as well. This is what he says in The Power of Awareness. You think you can do something, you want to do something, but actually you can do nothing. The illusion of the free will to do is but ignorance of the law of assumption upon which all action is based. Indeed, you think you want to do something, you think you can do something, but you can do nothing. You can do nothing to bring your desire into being. That part, it's the God within that takes care of it. The same as you can't do anything to make your heart beat. There's nothing you can do to make your heart beat. It just does. There's nothing you can do to make any organ in your body work the way they do. They just do. So why do you want to get in your own way with your little ego human self to manifest your desire? There is nothing you can do. So get out of your own way. And if nothing has changed for you in the longest time, do this from now on. Decide what you want. Claim that it's yours. Identify with the person, with the state that already has whatever it is that you want to have and who already is, whoever you want to be. And wake up every morning in that state. Walk like that person, talk like that person, be that person. And every time you have a negative or opposite thought, just let it be. Let it pass. Let it come and go. Observe it from an external point of view, because that thought has nothing to do with you anymore. You are no longer that person, that identity who used to have those thoughts. And if it's still coming a little bit, it's because it's the old self, like I said earlier, that it's trying to pull you back. But the more you don't fight and resist your thoughts, the faster they are going to die off completely. And remember, that part of you that manifests your desires after having the desire, it's not your little ego self. It's not your human self. This is why there is nothing you've got to do in the 3D to manifest your desire. You have to do the opposite. You have to get out of the way. So your I am, your God self, can do what it does best, which is bring you your desire in your physical reality. I hope this was helpful. Please give me a thumbs up if you like the video. Comment, ask your questions. I love to read your comments. I love to answer to your questions. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.